Good morning. Welcome to chapel. In the spirit of beloved community, we welcome everyone, work for justice, and walk with this community in their journey of faith and life. You are welcome in this place today and every day. For those who are worshiping in person in this space today, all you need for worship is a red hymnal, which is available from the rack on your way into the space. We join for chapel in person and via live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30 a.m. Just a reminder that our Monday chapel time right now is dedicated to sharing prayers for peace and for the healing of the nations. All are welcome. Just a couple announcements. One is an invitation to you to be here with us this Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock for a program called Come Home, a Nordic choir festival of hymns. This is an opportunity to join in listening to some wonderful music and participating in wonderful music together as community. So that is this Sunday at 4 o'clock here in the CFL Main Hall. All are welcome and invited. Also, we offer our prayers and blessings to our Muslim siblings as they enter into this holy season of Ramadan. We, as college ministries, are partnering with dining services and community members to make sure that our Muslim students have their meal needs taken care of outside of daylight hours. If you are at all interested in helping us with providing some of those meals, get in touch with me. You can email ministry@luther.edu and we can get you more information as to how to be a part of that. Today in chapel, we are thrilled to welcome as our chapel speaker author Andy Douglas, author of Redemption Songs, A Year in the Life of a Community Prison Choir. He's been on campus yesterday and today visiting classes, and there was an author event here last night. His book is available in the bookstore. Highly recommend if you want to browse a copy. We have a couple out on the hymn racks that you can flip through and get sucked in, and then head across that way and go grab one of your own. We are so excited for you to be here and to share your reflections and songs with us today. Dear ones, as we begin our worship, I invite you to stand. God's reach is endless. God's mercy is unstoppable. God's grace is lavish. God's love is constant. God's wisdom is vast. God's hope is stubborn. God's presence is here, with us, among us, moving through us. Breathe easy, breathe deeply. We are in God's house. Let us worship the one who welcomes us home. Our opening hymn today is number 641, All Are Welcome, number 641. It's my great pleasure now to invite Andy Douglas forward to share thoughts and reflections. We're so glad you're here today.
Thank you, Melissa. Morning. Can you hear me? I can hear myself pretty well. This is a good thing. Excuse me. I was going to bring a water bottle. So thank you for having me here today. I'm thrilled to be here at Luther. As Melissa mentioned, I'm here promoting a book called Redemption Songs, A Year in the Life of a Community Prison Choir. This book is about a pretty special community in Coralville, Iowa. I live in Iowa City myself, at the Oakdale prison facility. It is a performing choir made up of about 30 incarcerated men from the facility and 30 community volunteers, both male and female. And the choir was started in 2009 by a visionary professor of music at the University of Iowa, Dr. Mary Cohen. Very dynamic, very thoughtful and compassionate person. And she saw the need for, she understood, as this is her field of research, the power, the transformative power, really, of singing together in a group and having a common sense of purpose, doing creative work together, building a community of caring together. And, we don't often think of prison as a community of caring. And unfortunately, we're often right. Those places, most prisons in this country are pretty depressing, grim places without a lot of hope to offer. So one of the messages that I want to deliver today and that I try and deliver in my book is the idea of what is our responsibility as a society to people who have screwed up, who have committed crimes. And I don't mean to minimize people's crimes. They're often horrific crimes, but it's part of the human condition in a sense. All of us screw up at one time or another, and all of us would like to have a second chance. And these men and women also in prison deserve a second chance. So is our philosophy in terms of justice one of revenge, or is it one of embracing these people and helping them to overcome their issues, their problems, and become better people? And I hope that we're moving towards the latter. And the prison choir at Oakdale is certainly an important tool for overcoming a number of, you can say, typical inmate behaviors. People in prison often come out of a background of great trauma, so they're dealing with a lot of emotional issues. They may have attention spans that are not the best, interpersonal skills, etc., need developed. So the choir offers an opportunity for people to come together and focus on this third thing, this creation of music, of song. The songs, of course, have very uplifting themes. And in a few moments, I'm going to lead you all in one of these songs, if you'll join me. But you can say things in a song that you can't really say or may feel uncomfortable saying in conversation. But songs have that power of expressing deep ideas, deep emotional truths. And when you set them to music, it becomes a very moving and accessible kind of thing. So I joined the choir in 2011, and for 7 years, once a week, every Tuesday, I entered the prison building, went through all of the metal detectors and security checkpoints, and went and sat in the choir room next to these men, and we sang together. I was speaking in Britt Rhodes' class this morning, and a student asked me, I forget what the question was, but the thing that I said was that the best part of that experience was when we forgot who we were, when we forgot that I was a community volunteer with this background, this career, whatever. The men forgot that they were in prison. And it did happen, because performing or creating music together is kind of a transformative, it can be a liminal space. You know, you enter into this thing together and you forget all of the circumstances. It's just a sharing of human experience together, which is a beautiful thing. So I'm going to lead you in one of the songs that we sang in the choir, just to give you a sense of the kind of music and the kind of positivity that's inherent in those songs. So I would ask, if you'd like to stand, you're welcome to stand. This song is called Put One Foot in Front of the Other and Lead with Love. Kristen knows it from last night. It's by a composer named Melanie DeMore, African-American songwriter, activist, all-around dynamo, you could say. And I will teach the song in call and response mode. So there's a chorus, which is pretty simple. The chorus simply goes, you got to put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You repeat that twice. Then there are 3 verses, and we'll sing those verses in call and response with very short phrases, so it'll be very easy to follow along. So this is how the chorus goes. When I point to myself, I'll sing. When I point to you all, you respond or repeat what I said. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Okay, I'm gonna modify that a little bit because I just remembered that I'm singing it slightly incorrectly. You got, this is what happens with oral tradition singing. Things get a little bit modified all the time. Let's try that again. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Let's sing that all together. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I think we have that. Great. So here are the verses. I'm not going to go through I'm not going to teach them. We'll just jump in because it's call and response, okay? Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared, and I'm scared too, but here I am, right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love, and lead with love. Yeah, thank you. That was great. Thanks, you can be seated. It gives you a little sense of the kind of music that we sing. It gets you moving, it's positive, it instills a sense of purpose, a sense of self-worth, a sense of community. We're all in this together. And these things are very powerful when you're in a group of people where many of the group have struggled with their lives. They may not have a lot of confidence. They may not have a feeling of self-worth. And you know, that goes for everybody. I'm not talking just about the insiders. I'm talking about the outsiders. Everyone can use that sense of community of caring and support that the choir provided. So in prison, you're surrounded by razor wire, bad food. The vibe is horrible, usually. Drab colors, fluorescent lighting. It's not generally thought of as a place of beauty or a place of spontaneity. But in the choir room, sometimes both of these can be found. As the lyrics to another song put it, I want to know if you can see the beauty, even if it's not pretty every day. As we sing, we're shifting our reality, infusing it with something deeper than the environment typically offers. We're growing in confidence, creating community, and you can see this reflected in people's faces. The songs we sing allow us all, insider or outsider, healthy or broken, shy or gregarious, to transcend a little. They allow us to free ourselves, if only for a moment, from the thorny bonds of the past. In my book, I talk a little bit about the science of singing, how singing music that we enjoy releases dopamine into the brain, one of the feel-good chemicals, and singing with others sparks oxytocin. It's called the bonding hormone, which the brain employs for building trust. Singing slows the brain waves, leaving us feeling contented and peaceful. It helps us breathe more deeply. A lot of these guys don't know how to breathe, you know? Their bodies are clenched, and rightfully so. They're in a dangerous place. They're packed in with other men. It's always a sense of being on guard, you know? So in the choir, Dr. Cohen encourages us to stand tall, put our shoulders back, breathe from the diaphragm. Some of this is new to many of these men. These concepts are new. So this breathing oxygenates the blood, it regulates blood pressure. Mary Cohen saw choral music as a way to put some of these values into practice. By transmuting life stories into music, she felt people in prison could develop more empathy and a broadened perspective of the harm they'd inflicted. She writes that other aspects of restorative practices evident in music programs include problem-solving skills, conflict transformation, tools for improved relationships with family members, personal growth, self-esteem, respect, and strengthened communities. Besides learning musical skills, the participants have an opportunity to write songs, and this allows them to reflect more deeply on their lives, reflect on things like self-control, maturity. So if one aspect of being a grown-up means taking more responsibility for one's actions and being less selfish, participation in the choir and the songwriting workshop offers a space to develop these qualities. I write in the book that human beings have a fundamental need to experience personal power and autonomy. If a person is causing harm because they're not feeling powerful, then taking more power away from them isn't going to be helpful. The solution may be to help them experience power, give them a voice in a way that doesn't take away someone else's power. One insider said to me, "I used to not be a very nice person, but I'm different now." How many of us might not those words apply to at one time or another in our lives? Set aside for the moment the question of what crime this person committed. His words reflect a self-awareness, a recognition of the human condition, a suggestion that we all screw up, and that we can become better. Of course, it's very difficult to move forward without support, without a caring community. But if we're truly interested in justice, in redemption, that's exactly the kind of environment we want our prisons to be. Programs like the choir offer a chance to prisoners to embrace an identity that's about more than just being a number in a cell. Though their lives are unfathomably complicated by their pasts, they, like anyone, long to have a voice. In his book, Tattoos on the Heart, this is a great book, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Greg Boyle writes about working with gang members in Los Angeles. He started a business called Homeboy Industries to give jobs to ex-gangbangers. His book reveals the deep need in many of these gang members to feel loved and respected, and their desire to turn away from crime when offered these qualities in another setting. Reflecting on his approach, Boyle says, "We imagine a circle of compassion. Then we imagine no one standing outside that circle, moving ourselves closer to the margins so that the margins themselves will be erased. We stand there with those whose dignity has been denied." We're all connected, and the way we treat each other, the conditions we allow to flourish outside of prison and inside, reflect the quality of that connection. I think maybe my time is up. Okay. So thank you so much for your time. I hope this has been meaningful to you, and thank you again for having me here at Luther.
Absolutely, and I would invite anyone to continue this conversation afterwards, because
Sure.
I think that there are lots more good things to be said and shared.
Thank you.
And so in the spirit of what we have done and experienced, I would invite you this day and always to go in peace and to let your song be heard. Thanks be to God.